Hello, good day, good afternoon, and Merry Christmas to all of our friends. This is the Bobbi Jo and Sheena show, and today we have a deep conversation. Sheena?
That was that was very deep. Silence. Actually, that's sometimes the best conversation. We just actually say nothing, and that's
Isn't
when
it?
everything is actually said. Do you ever find that? So
Yeah.
here it is: how to end all suffering. Do you think you can actually do that? I
Mm.
think so. I can say something, but I might wait for Bobbi Jo and see what pops up for Bobbi Jo.
How to end all suffering. The minute you said that, I almost wanted to be like, stop having thoughts. Because it's up here that makes you crazy thinking about, I should have this, I shouldn't have this, the judgment, this and that, and that, and this, and that, and this. And we are here, right? So I gave a talk the other day at my spiritual center about Merry Christmas. What does that mean? Merrily, merry. What does that mean? Joyfully, right? What is Christ? Mas, right? In the Spanish, it's more Christ. So joyfully find more Christ in your life. Okay, I said the word, drop the bomb, yes. And in my speech, I probably said the word Christ consciousness more times in 30 minutes than I have in 55 years because that was a paradigm for me to get over. So I just dropped the bomb. I'm going to let Sheena take it away. She loves this stuff.
It's the conversation. Actually, the thoughts. What I realize is that, there isn't like a good thought. There's just thoughts running around, and there's thoughts that you want to go like, oh, I like to have those thoughts, or I don't like to have those thoughts. And there's like the what we would call maybe a good conversation or a bad conversation, and everything else in between. And depending on how your state and how you feel, you'll tap into a certain level. So you like tune into a certain frequency. So if you're feeling crappy, you generally tend to have crappy thoughts coming through. And it's really starting to understand that. But I don't mean that you have to be, oh, joyful, joyful all the time. There is a joy that Bobbi Jo's talking about that is just peace and calm and just acceptance of where you are. Um, and if we can actually just even acceptance there is the end of suffering, because if you accepted yourself, you wouldn't argue with yourself. You think you're arguing with everybody else, but you're the one feeling it in the first place. So I know with Bobbi Jo, when she talks about Christ consciousness, don't be scared of those words. Listen, what we're talking about is how would Jesus think? Like, that's all we mean when we say Christ consciousness is this. How would Jesus have thought? Well, he thought, well, everything's okay. I'm being looked after. I and the Father are one. And there was something that I said to my client 2 years ago, and only really, really getting it now is the goal is God. What does that mean? Is that to realize that everything is the same. There is nothing different. Science proves this as well. Let's take the religious aspect out of it, and let's even bring it into more sciencey bit. Is that we're proven that everything is light. We prove that. We prove that there's no controller in here, only the controls. So who is this Sheena? Who is this Bobbi Jo? And if we can start to see that everything is the same, then guess what that happens? The release of judgment.
Bingo.
Yeah, it's your judgment that is hurting you, the judgment that it should be like this. Just what Bobbi Jo said, it should be like this, it should be like that, it should be like the other. Who said? Who
It's
said that?
exhausting. It's exhausting to live like that. Go ahead, keep going.
No, you keep going because you just jump right in there. That's brilliant. I was more or less finished.
No, well, you were saying that, it's that polarity of the highs and the lows. Oh, we get this. Oh, we don't get this. Oh, we get this. We don't get that. And the peace of mind, we don't want to flatline necessarily, people. But when you're flatlining, when you just everything's the same and take a Xanax, yay, come on. We don't want to be so high with our judgments and then so low with our judgments, but we just want to have peace, love, and joy. And that's a talk for another conversation, but we just want, I don't know, I'm losing myself now. But anyways, you just want to have that peace, love, and joy. You don't want to have those super highs and those super lows of that, and everything is God. And so before we were talking for like a half an hour before we started today, and she was saying, it could be a Mercedes to a bicycle or a Louis Vuitton to like a cheap dollar pocketbook. We in our minds put value on that because of who? People who want to make more money off of you, which is pretty funny that everyone is so quick with advertising to follow the big dollar signs and thinking a certain label or number on something by whose values. But if everything is God, they're both beautiful, whether they're a dollar or $2,000. So that's the level that we need to get at. And we're just gonna kind of end this here, let you absorb this Christ consciousness and what it is, because we're gonna go into judgment next. And what was the other one? Oh, authentic alignment too. So if you, because I was just saying, we're gonna leave this hanging right here because, I think that with everyone out there, there's this big, oh, be authentic, be authentic, be authentic. Well, what is authentic? It's in that Christ consciousness of who and why our souls came here. But do you think Oprah was following what everyone else was doing, right? Right? Or I don't know who's big over there, Beyonce. I don't know. I don't know anything. I just don't. I don't look up to people because I know we're all the same. I don't put my power into somebody else, but I know that those people that are most successful in doing what they need to do, it's they followed their own path. They are in alignment with themselves. And I just gave away next week's podcast. Done. I'm done.
Yeah,
What do you have to say?
just, drop the judgment. That is going to be the end of your suffering. Go into the pain, whatever pain, it could be physical. And then I didn't say it was easy, but just go with it. Go into what you fear, go into what you don't want, go into your pain, go into everything and see it all as it's all the same thing. And it's when that acceptance is the end of your suffering. Try it. Just try it with little tiny things, little tiny, 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 tiny things. Because when you can do it here, rather than trying to do it with the big things, when the big things come along, then they will be easier if you're doing it every day, bit by bit, moment by moment.
It's building that foundation to your authentic self, and that is that awareness. Why am I reacting? Especially this time of year at the holidays, we're triggered up and down by our in-laws or this or that or your sister or your brother. And I've heard someone say the other day on the phone, I don't know why we all got together, like half of each other or blocked each other from the phone, but yet they show up at the holiday season. And it's like, why? If you're not happy, know your boundaries, have awareness what it is you want and why you're doing what you're doing. That's all. That's another time for another day. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Cheerio and I have remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember that. See you later. Bye.